Welcome to another swing trading analysis. What we will be doing in today's video is showing you guys exactly what kind of opportunities we can be looking for on the market that we will be analyzing both from a technical and in order flow perspective. And obviously I will also be sharing a lot of key lessons in the video that will help you immediately become a better trader. Now, if you're new to the channel, I'm a top podder on the TRADINGVIEW platform, and every single day I share a lot of free analysis and education. So I really do suggest that you subscribe to the channel so you won't miss out on all this free education, and I will see you in the video. The pair that I want to speak about in today's video is NZD-CAD. Now, why do I want to speak specifically about NZD-CAD? For two main reasons. Number one, NZD-CAD might be providing a very good opportunity in the near future to obviously capitalize on it. And number two, there is a very important concept that I want to explain during this analysis on the pair to obviously educate you and help you understand which is the main thing that you have to look for when you're actually analyzing the market, or better said, which are the main things that you have to be looking for when you're actually analyzing the market and scanning for opportunities. So what we will be doing is, as usual, performing a full breakdown of the pair, starting from the monthly, weekly, and daily time frames from a directional aspect, obviously performing our technical analysis. We will then go and see what we have from an order flow perspective, with the commitment of traders to see what hedge funds are currently doing, both from an NZD and a CAD perspective. And obviously by being able to understand what the smart money in the market is actually doing, you're able to gain an advantage over your competition in the market. And then by the end of the video, I will show you what kind of opportunity we can be looking forward to capitalize on. So let's start our analysis. Now, starting here from the monthly time frame, what do we see on NZD-CAD? We can see that the market has currently provided this W formation. Now, after a W formation, what you want to see? You want to see the market complete the pattern at the previous resistance, which is now turned support, before starting the next continuation to the upside. And that is exactly what the market has currently created. After a W formation, the market completed the pattern at the neckline, aka the previous resistance, which is now turned support, and from here we're supposed to get the continuation to the upside. So currently what we are facing from a monthly perspective is an area of previous resistance, which is now turned support at this zone, from which we can expect a rejection to the upside. What we can also notice from a monthly perspective is that, as usual, after an impulse, if we want to measure the correction, what we have to do is take our Fibonacci exactly from the low to the high of the impulse. And by doing this, we can see that the market has currently retraced exactly to the 0.382 of the Fibonacci taken on the monthly impulse, from which we do expect a rejection and continuation to the upside for the creation of this impulse correction and impulse pattern to the upside. So also from a monthly perspective, we can expect continuation to the upside if we check the market from a Fibonacci standpoint. We can also gain additional confluence of support inside of this area by taking this long-term trend line, starting from this high, touching as many candles as possible, and we consider the market after respecting this trend line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, the market broke the trend line to the upside and retested it already here. So what we can take from the monthly time frame is that we do have a confluence of support all across this region. In fact, we have the support given by this previous resistance, which is now support, the support given by the trend line, and the support given by the 0.32 of the Fibonacci taken on the impulse. So from a monthly perspective, we are testing a confluence of support area from which we can expect continuation to the upside for the completion of this impulse, correction, and impulse pattern to the upside. Let's go down on the weekly and see what we have from a weekly perspective. Now on the weekly, we can see a completely different scenario. In fact, from a weekly perspective, we can see that actually we currently have bearish structure, as the market has created a regular head and shoulders and broken also the structure to the downside. We have a left shoulder here, a head here, and a right shoulder here, and the market has already created the move to the downside, breaking below the structure. Now, how can we see clearly that the market has broken also the weekly structure, because we can use a quick trick. We can go down on a line chart, and on the line chart we can clearly see that the previous support, which is now to resistance, is exactly at this weekly close here, which, if we go back down on the candles, we can see that it has been broken to the downside. So currently, from a weekly perspective, we have both bearish structure and obviously resistance. So completely the opposite of what we have already seen from a weekly perspective, for a monthly perspective, sorry. Going down on the daily, what do we see? Now on the daily, first of all, we had spoken about NZD CAD quite a few times in the past. We spoke about NZD CAD when the market had created this W formation, and I made a full breakdown of NZD CAD when the market was here, in which I explained all the reasons for which from here we wanted to see the market create this move to the downside and complete this W formation and the neckline. Then again, I spoke about NZD CAD when the market was here, and I explained all the reasons for which from here we wanted to see the market create this move to the upside. And again, that is exactly what the market did. And then again, I spoke about NZD CAD after the market had created this overextended W formation, and when the market was here, I made a full breakdown explaining all the reasons for which from here we wanted to see this move to the downside. Then when the market was here, I made another breakdown explaining why we wanted to see a move to the upside, and then from here we had a problem, because we had bearish structure on the weekly and bullish structure on the monthly. And by the way, I will link in the description all this previous analysis, so you can go and check it out for further reference and more free education. You find everything linked in description. Just a quick reminder, make sure you comment below and you let me know which pairs or topics you would like me to cover or analyze in the next video. Where is the next opportunity for NZD CAD that we can be looking to capitalize on? Now, recapping what we have just seen, on the monthly we have support, on the weekly we have resistance, and on the daily we have currently bearish structure. In fact, on the daily time frame currently, we have a market that is testing this previous support, which was again support here, which now the market has broken to the downside and is turned resistance. So on the monthly, very strong bullish structure, but on the weekly and daily, strong bearish structure. So how we can be approaching this kind of situation for an opportunity, because clearly we have a problem. The time frames are not aligning. Now, before I show you how we will be approaching this kind of situation with students, let's first go and give a quick check at what we have from a commitment of traders perspective. So what hedge funds and the big speculators in the market are doing. Now, starting from the NZD, what we can see. Now on the NZD, we can see that with the last report, hedge funds have closed 2.1k short positions, which is a very, very strong thing. Why? Because it means that during this move to the downside, what hedge funds have been actually doing, instead of adding shorts, is been closing the shorts, which means that they know very well that we have strong confluence of support from a monthly perspective. And that is the reason for which they have not been adding any shorts on the NZD. Actually, they have been closing the shorts. So can we expect continuation to the downside with the NZD weakness? At least not from a COT perspective. Hedge funds are clearly not interested in the short. However, at the same time, we also see that they haven't been adding longs either, which means that at the moment, obviously, they have not been longing because we are at daily resistance. You don't want to be longing at a daily resistance area. However, this area could break to the upside. And if it will, as I will now show you, we have a very good opportunity. But anyway, let's continue our analysis. Let's go and see what we have from a CAD perspective. From an NZD perspective, just remember this. Hedge funds are not interested in this move to the downside, as they have not been adding any shorts. If a market is moving to the downside and you're adding shorts, then you expect the market to continue lower. If you're not, if you're actually closing shorts during a move to the downside, you definitely do not expect continuation to the downside. And if we go and see what we have from a CAD perspective, what we can see. Now on the CAD, we can see that net positions have been clearly increasing. In fact, we went from having minus 33k net positions all the way up to having minus 18k net positions. So definitely hedge funds have been shifting their positioning to the positive side rather than the negative side. So basically longs have been increasing and shorts decreasing. In fact, longs went from 19k to 20.8k and shorts went from 53 to 38k. However, do we see proper longing on the CAD. No, the strength of the CAD is actually given by these shorts getting close, because as we can see, longs have not been greatly added. Therefore, a long-term strength of the CAD is possible, but it's not very probable, because otherwise we would have seen proper longing of the CAD, which we are still not seeing. So the way in which we will be approaching NZD CAD at this point is very simple. If the market will reject this daily resistance and start a move to the downside, we're simply not interested in NZD CAD until we will see a break of the monthly support. At that point, all time frames would be again aligning, because the monthly would be bearish, the weekly would be bearish, and the daily would be bearish. And also we would see clearly some shorting from an NZD perspective if we look at the COT data. However, we don't know if this will happen, but if it will happen, we will simply have to adjust our analysis to the new market structure. So until the market will remain below this resistance, we are simply not interested in NZD CAD until the market will break the monthly support. However, if the market will actually break back above this support, at that point we have a very interesting situation, because we have previous support which is now turned resistance, which will again be turned support here. And at that point, all time frames would be aligning, because the weekly would have bullish structure, the monthly would have bullish structure, and at that point also the daily would have bullish structure. So after the break, on the retest of this area, what we will be doing with students. Now, as usual, monthly, weekly, and daily combined with the COT data are the best time frames when it comes to the direction of the market. But the best time frame for confirmations and entry is the 4 hours. So after the break on the retest of this level, with students, we will be monitoring price action from a 4-hour perspective, waiting for the market to provide to us one of our valid entries. And as soon as the market will provide to us one of our valid entries, we will be taking a nice long with a very good risk to reward and very good probabilities for the move to the upside and completion of this impulse, correction and impulse pattern to the upside from a daily perspective, and rejection of the monthly confluence of support, as we have previously seen at the beginning of the analysis. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you smash that like button and comment below. It really does support the creation of more free education and analysis for all of you. Also, make sure you go and check out the mentorship program. You find the link in the description. It's a very complete program. You first learn all the rules of my rule-based strategies, and then you trade them live with me. In fact, every single day I give you a new daily market breakdown, showing you exactly how to apply the strategies with entries, stops, take profits, as well as having me answering all questions that you have every single day, including the weekends. So it's a very complete program. I really suggest that you go and check it out, and I will see you in.